The JSE will be opening to firmer global trade this morning. Local focus this week will be squarely on the Reserve Bank, which is expected to announce a 50 basis point interest rate hike on Thursday. Roy Mutooni, an analyst at Absa Asset Management, joins us now to talk through the latest market news. Roy, good morning. The Rand and local index look to be stabilizing this morning after tough trade.
Well, actually, the local index has opened up, and it's actually quite green on the top 40, largely led by Naspers and Process, which are reacting to the positive markets in Asia last night. So, yeah, green for once.
Roy, gold prices flat as oil spills as EU battles to secure a Russia import ban. Talk us through the latest commodity moves.
So oil is an interesting commodity. So right now what you're seeing is all of these signals of weakening global growth, both from the US and China, impacting demand for oil, and that's come down. But then the thing about it is refined product, which comes from oil and requires refineries, there's actually a global shortage, so that's pushing diesel prices up. So it's a little bit of a conundrum there. Gold is reacting to the fact that now we are in real interest rate territory, where interest rates are higher than the rate of inflation. Where interest rates are higher than the rate of inflation. So gold prices generally don't like that, so they're flat to marginally down. And I think we'll see this tug of war continuing for as long as interest rates globally are rising and inflation continues to rise.
Now back again locally, Pick n Pay has published its results for the 52 weeks ended 27 February 2022 and a declaration of a dividend. How have they fared in the period under review?
So I think it's actually a good set of results. They've guided them quite well. Headline earnings were up about 23%. But I think the thing which stood out there is that the internal inflation was just barely 3%, compared to food inflation of about 6%, just showing that they're shielding consumers and their customers from the full brunt of food CPI. They're also able to generate some good cash flow. So the dividend is up about 23%. So I think by and large a reasonably good result, and the market seems to like it. The stock's up about 2% this morning.
Now we're all talking about power, and Kibo Energy has signed a 5-year agreement to deploy at least 1 gigawatt of long-duration energy storage. Tell us more about these developments.
So this is actually quite interesting. So Kibo generates renewable energy. The biggest problem with renewable energy is it typically has to be used at the time when it is generated. So solar during the day, wind when the wind is out there. So what they've done is they have a joint venture now, or they have an agreement with these people who produce long duration batteries. So you can produce the renewable energy when it's there, but then use it at a time when it's not being generated. And this is particularly useful for things like gated communities, telecommunication towers, or office blocks. And particularly at this time when we have this load shedding or lack of grid power. It's a proof of concept, so they've got this agreement to deploy this all over SADC, and I think it's actually quite promising. If it does go ahead, it takes away one of the biggest impediments to deploying renewable energy on a more wide-scale, sustainable basis. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see how successful this is.
Analyst at Absa Asset Management, Roy Mutooni, thank you for walking us through the markets this morning.